Hey Modeling 101 fans, this is Dania Denise with another video reply post, which was requested by an anonymous reader. So Anonymous tells me that she's planning a trip to New York to check out agencies. She wants to know what my thoughts are about her trip and what her chances are. Unfortunately, I'm not a psychic, so I can't tell you exactly what the odds are of you getting signed, but I will say that New York is one of the toughest markets to break into, especially if you want to do fashion and runway modeling. So just know that the competition will be steep. But my best piece of advice for preparing for your trip is to plan in advance. Make a plan of action by knowing which agencies you want to target, know where their locations are so that you don't get lost in the Big Apple, and know what days their casting calls are on so that you can make sure to hit as many as you can during your stay, and also to know which materials to bring for each agency. Her next question is, do I just bring Polaroids to the open calls? In most cases, yes. Basic digital snapshot Polaroids are all that you need to get your foot in the door. You do not need a professional portfolio or headshots or comp cards if you're a new model. But what you want to do is visit each agency website in New York that you want to visit on your trip and make sure that you know exactly what they ask you to bring. But 9 times out of 10, they're going to say just to bring snapshots that you can leave with the agency. So you might want to make a couple of copies because they're going to keep the pictures that you turn into them. Her next question: do you know the process after being signed with a top agency from New York? No two agencies operate exactly the same way, but a general way that it works is you get signed, you get the contracts taken care of and all the paperwork, and then the agency will have a sit down with you to discuss what they think their options are for marketing you, what type of work that they think you can book, and they'll also give you a list of resources to help you in putting together your first test shoot. That will be the place where you get all the pictures to create your portfolio, your headshots, and your comp cards. They'll guide you every step of the way, so don't be too nervous about this point. They're going to be your go-to person to answer all your questions and concerns. But the first step after getting signed is to set up your portfolio test shoot. Her last question is, do you know what open calls are like in NYC, or questions they may ask me? Especially being a newbie, will they try to trick me? So, to answer the first part of that question, open calls are very basic, they're very informal. Most times, they're going to have you sign in, fill out maybe one basic paperwork sheet with your information and contact info, and then they'll call you in one at a time. You will probably meet with one or more people from the agency who are going to evaluate you. They'll ask you your name, they'll take some snapshots of their own, and they will probably ask you to do a runway walk for them if you're interested in doing runway and fashion. They'll ask you more questions about yourself, basic things like what your goals and hobbies are, why you like modeling, why you want to be a model, if you're in school, just general things to see what your personality is like and if you're easy to talk to. They will not try to trick you. That's not what they do. This is not reality TV. Legitimate agencies truly want to get to know who you are as a person, gauge your personality, and see if you'd be a fun person to work with, as well as having the right look that they want to send out to clients. So again, they're going to ask you basic questions. They'll take a couple of simple digital snapshots of you, and they'll ask you to do a runway walk if you're trying to do fashion and runway modeling. I hope that answers all your questions, and I wish you the best of luck with New York.